Good afternoon. I'm Deborah Price, CEO and founder of the Money Coaching Institute, and this is Conversations About Money. And today I have with me a wonderful man who is a certified money coach. He's been coaching for a couple of years now, and he is from the country of Malta. And Luca, I believe you are the only coach we have in Malta, maybe two now. Um, I'd love to just jump right in and learn more about what you've been up to since you started your own money coaching journey and what you're doing most these days and just how this whole experience has been for you.
Yeah, so thank you, Deborah, for inviting me to your podcast. It's been quite a transformative journey. Since I took the decision to start the course with you, it was one of those moments where you see you jump at an opportunity, and I never saw myself as a money coach before, so it was quite new. I just had learned that money coaches exist, and I said, "Yeah, I like personal finances. Why not try guiding others on their financial journey?" What I didn't know was that there was also the psychological aspect, which was what primarily attracted me to your institution. And I am very thankful for that because it showed me a whole new perspective, which I've been using quite often these past 3 years now, almost. Yeah. So from the time I graduated from the course, I immediately launched my own website. I started a very successful PR campaign here in Malta. Not a paid campaign, so it was quite organic. It was a new subject. People became interested. No one was teaching about personal finances here in Malta. And you see, since personal finances is something which we touch on a daily basis, it got the attention of the media as well. So I appeared on the national broadcaster, on some radio stations. I was invited to several podcasts, not just in Malta, but also in Europe. So I would say the first 2 months were a bit hard until you got your name out there, because many people thought I was another investment advisor.
Mhm.
And it's a learning curve, for the people out there to tell them what a money coach actually does. But I think with the right approach, the right content, and the right PR, I got there. And the biggest satisfaction is still the relationship I have with the people I meet and the people I coach. Because
Mm.
I've had the opportunity to even change their life in a
Mm.
very extraordinary way that I never imagined even before. And that is why I like saying money coaching is all about changing lives and changing futures. And thanks to your community and to what I learned throughout the course, I've been able to do that not just in Malta. I've also I've done workshops, financial workshops in Greece, Croatia, and Estonia as well, where I was
Yeah.
invited for 1 week long workshops to talk both about the psychological side of money. I had the
Mhm.
opportunity also to introduce the money type quiz, which was greatly welcomed in these countries as well, and also on the practical side of money, so the savings, money management, and whatnot. So yeah, it was quite a transformative journey. It even became a large part of my life as we speak.
Well, I'm just so thrilled to hear this. I remember when we had your final certification review, and I said, you know, Luca, if I were you, I would hit the media hard.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, I
And
remember, and I took it very seriously. I said, I know I was never a person who went out there to show my face, to publicize myself. I was always shy, even in class. I never raised my hand to participate. But I said, okay, this is the time I'm doing something for the good of others.
Yeah.
So I have to show my face out there so that people trust me. And I mean, in money, people have to see your face. They
Yeah.
have to trust you because it's their personal finances at the end of the day, and also their life. Because it's
Hmm.
not just about money management. It's also about the psychological side of money. Okay, and without trust, you get nowhere. So yes, people have to see you. They have to know what you're doing with your life. What is your life history as well? Because
Yeah.
when you show vulnerability, people will respect you more. And this
Yeah.
is something which might sound contrarian, because many people
Not
think
to me.
that,
You should know, not
yeah,
to me.
yeah, but to many people, unfortunately, it does. We tend to see many TikTok videos, Instagram
Yeah.
videos showing perfection when it comes to money management. And this is the wrong impression, because many
Yeah.
people are suffering because of that, because they say, okay, I'm not good enough. We have to show
That's
people
right.
that, yes, we too are vulnerable. And we're here to help you to start a journey where you can turn your challenges into your strengths. And this is something which you were, I think, the first person who taught me that in an educational course, because I
Mhm.
never learned that at university or or in class, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was able to actually see some of the, I know you were doing a column for a while in Malta. Are you still doing the column?
Still, I think next one will be my 50th contribution to this column. It's a
Fantastic.
column which appears once every 2 weeks
Mhm.
on the Times of Malta, which is Malta's most popular media outlet. The context of it is that people send me questions about several aspects of their personal finance life.
Mhm.
It can be that they don't know how to save and how to start, or a life situation. Maybe one of the last questions I received was, listen, I am managing to save and invest, but I still feel anxious around money. What can I do? I mean, this is something emotional and no one is speaking about it.
That's right.
So these questions, I started this column with the intention to humanize money. That was the
Hmm.
intention. And that is also why the Times of Malta accepted it to be a regular, because there was
Hmm.
no one humanizing money. Money was always spoken about as investing in bonds and
Right.
stocks or just money management.
Retirement planning or whatever.
Retirement planning, yeah. I mean, that's the
Right.
staple. Everyone's offering retirement planning. No one is speaking about how money makes you feel
Right.
and the emotion it
And
creates
why you feel the way
and
you do
why.
is
Yeah.
really important.
And yeah, this was the intention of this column. I mean, after now 2 years and
Hmm.
50 contributions, it's still going quite strong. I mean, some of my clients came through that column as well.
Sure.
Because when I asked them, listen, where have you heard about me? They say, I read your article in that column and I
Hmm.
really liked what you wrote, and what I write is inspired by what I was taught. Okay, so and you have been my greatest guide in that sense, alongside with other authors like
However, I am
uh,
noticing I do not see my books on your shelf behind you. What's that about?
it's very
You have to
difficult
change
to get
that.
your book. It's
I'm
very
teasing
difficult.
you
Yeah. It's very difficult to get your book in
in
paperback and
Malta.
here to Malta.
We'll
So
have
I
to
have it
work
on
on
my
that for you.
Kindle. Yeah.
Yeah.
The books I have, they're related to stocks, and here behind
Yeah.
me I have one from Morgan Housel somewhere. Yeah, the psychology of money was. I put it there on purpose as well because I really believe in the psychological aspect of money.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the books as well behind me. They're done. They are also how to say. I read the books and I want to show the persons I speak to that listen, this
Hmm.
is what all I am about.
Hmm.
And it is interesting that just a little bookshelf with the books you read can create quite an effect with the audience that you have. So
Yeah,
Everything's
easy
about
to
branding,
connect.
everything is about branding as well. Yeah.
So tell me a bit about, from the standpoint of, I know you were in marketing before, and then
Mhm.
you made a big career change. Um, but you've always been a writer, and I always find it interesting because in money coaching, one of the things we look at is how can we actually help a person to live a more fulfilled, purposeful life, right? And when you take
Yeah.
the best of who you are, so you've got some marketing background, you love to write, then you had money coaching, it's like you sprinkled all these wonderful parts of yourself that didn't get a chance to fully express, and now here you are. And so I'm just curious from the standpoint of what your life was like before, and even,
Mhm.
from the standpoint of just your personal life financially, what how has it changed? I mean, do you feel like you're using all these parts of yourself, and has it been financially what you had hoped? Although I must say, after 2 years, it may not be quite what it can be still in the
Mhm.
future.
Yeah. So look, it's been quite transformative. I can say that when I started, I didn't start with very high hopes. Not that I didn't believe
Mhm.
in myself, but my target for the first year was like, okay, since I live in Malta, no one knows about financial coaching, money coaching. If I close 3 to 4 clients, it would be enough for me. I mean, this you have to remember. I never had
Business.
client-facing business before. This was all new to me. And in the first year, I managed to close, if you count companies as well, 50 clients.
Mm,
And it was quite a wonderful surprise, I must say. I never considered it before that it would be something I do like not more than a few hours a week.
hmm.
Now it consumes the majority part of my life, literally. So it started with one-to-one coaching, which is the staple one. Then I remember I there was this person who was interested in the coaching, but she said, "Not now, but I invite you to come and speak at our offices." It was the first time
Hmm.
I addressed a larger crowd. It was just 15 people, but for me it was like
Hmm.
something,
No,
quite
scary.
new.
Hmm.
Yeah. And from there, I started doing workshops as well. So I
Hmm.
went with to companies like HSBC, PwC, oh, what's the name? I don't the Reef, gaming companies, LifeScore,
Hmm.
MiDirect, this is a Belgian bank in Malta. And from there, when they saw that I was doing these financial workshops. I got even invited to do them internationally. So you see, it was a transformative exercise, not in public speaking as well. I never did public speaking. And if I see myself in the first podcast I took part of, or the first speech I gave out, my words weren't flowing like they're flowing now. Okay, now I'm more
Yeah,
accustomed to it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in the first, even create a video of myself speaking, it was very strange to see my face saying things.
I
Um,
can relate.
s- yeah, but so yeah, it was transformative in quite transformative in that sense, even when it comes to networking. So when I went in a big room with many people I don't know, um, it used to be quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then when people started to know me through the column, through the PR, through my LinkedIn updates, I mentioned LinkedIn because it's the
Hmm.
social media that I use the most. Whenever I go to a gathering now, especially if it's in Malta, and there are 5 to 10 people, if it's a large conference, who immediately recognize me and come to speak. So it's become easier that way as well. Um, uh, Financially speaking, yes, I've seen lots of benefit from it. I mean, I'm earning money from it that I never expected. Of course, it is also quite challenging because it's not like you work as an investment advisor with
Right.
an international company which pays you,
Yeah.
a very good salary. So it has its challenges. However, what I am doing and what I also tell my clients is to create several sources of income as well, because just one income can be quite risky. And one of the projects I have ongoing now, which I intend to launch even more publicly, I am building a financial well-being platform
Hmm.
together with some other persons, because it takes people with knowledge of technology to do that.
Hmm.
The intention is to spread financial literacy with companies and across Europe, especially because I find that financial literacy is quite missing in Europe,
Yeah.
in particular. I'm not mentioning the US, and I'm also leaving out the UK for a reason, because they have some schemes to encourage financial literacy, although they can do even more. But in Europe, it's quite missing. In fact, the first, the Eurobarometer, the first statistic about financial literacy was back in 2023, and the Eurobarometer has been here for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I need to be more active there because I can help over there.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way to help is not just one-to-one and through workshops, because you can reach a limited amount of people. But another good way to help is, listen, create something related to technology so that more people have access to it, and start teaching about money and spreading what you learned through such platforms as well. So, yeah, you have to evolve. Otherwise, if you remain where you are, if you get too comfortable, you get stuck, and you can lose the momentum. So, I always invent new things to keep myself, uh, excited and momentum driven.
Yeah. So it sounds like your own warrior magician are fully kicked in and really providing you with
Yeah.
the support and structure that you need to succeed. Do you have a money type that sometimes still gets activated and creates a challenge for you at times? Because we all have them, right? We all know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
to go
yeah,
to.
yeah. I'd say so. For sure, I still am, because I take the quiz once every 3 to 4 months. I retake the quiz to see if
Hmm.
the percentages change a bit. But
Right,
the
right.
warrior still remains the highest. I mean, it's always over 60%, the warrior archetype. I mean, it's still there quite strongly.
Hmm.
I'd say. Um, the sense of sometimes I do feel vulnerable, and I relate a lot that to the innocent archetype as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
So when I am in that place, I say, okay, this dormant part, this dormant characteristic, sometimes they creep up, and but it
Right,
is all about life. Isn't perfect for anyone. I mean, I have
right,
this
right.
innocent, sometimes I even get the fool as well. I mean,
Hmm.
I am careful with my money,
Right.
okay, but still sometimes, I mean, I am human, and I see things which I really would like to buy, and I don't really need them, but sometimes,
Yeah.
I go and get them, and then I say, oh, what I did there. But it's part of life, it's part of life. And that is what I tell my clients and my audiences. Listen, I do mistakes like you do. And when they hear me say that, they appreciate more, because they say, okay, we're actually speaking to someone who's authentic, not someone
Right.
who is speaking about perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. That is why we have all these
Yeah,
archetypes.
that's right. Well, it's interesting because a lot of times people are reluctant to, they don't like it if they have a full archetype that's active. And of course, we don't want people to have a high active fool archetype because that usually means the person's going unconscious or
yeah.
perhaps even got some dopamine driven spending habits, or something is going on, right? But I like someone to have a little wing of the fool, because if you're doing well in life and you're working hard, we
Yeah.
all need to be able to have some playtime, some fun, and some adventure.
Hmm.
And when that archetype is non-existent, the person doesn't have any joy in their life, and they're always
As well.
constricted and
Mhm.
feeling afraid, and so they can't even enjoy what they have, even if they have a lot. So I'm glad that you let your fool out occasionally, because I know that your warrior is there to keep you from being too crazy with it. And so we just don't want to make that part wrong. So
Yeah.
what if you buy something occasionally that you don't need? That is okay. We should be able to have things we do want in addition
Mhm.
to the things we need. We just need to do it in a way that is reasonable and that doesn't create harm to our overall well-being, financially or otherwise, right? So good for
Yeah.
you that
Yeah.
you're allowing that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, but and the fact that I am aware of it helps as well.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, before I did the money coaching course and before I discovered the archetypes, I was a person who was over careful with money.
Hmm.
I'd say to the extent that
I recall that
I
from our
I didn't
coaching.
enjoy life as I should have.
Hmm.
And I think one of the turning points was when in back in 2019, I had two seizure attacks during the night, and when I woke up, I woke up literally without a memory of the past few weeks. But then when I got better, I started asking, why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I saving money? Why am I being so strict? What's the purpose? And the
Hmm.
only reason I could find was not to be like my parents were with money,
Yeah.
which was a
Yeah.
negative
A
reasoning.
reactive pattern.
Yeah, it was a negative reasoning. But I didn't know that. So during those years when I saved money, when I poured it literally money, affecting my relationship with other people, I didn't know I was in the wrong because I had seen what the full archetype at its extreme can do.
Hmm. Hmm.
And rebelled 100% against that archetype, but went to the other extreme then.
Right.
And
Overcorrect.
yeah, yeah. And it was obviously, I'm not saying that when I realized I became, the other way around. I mean,
Hmm.
I have a high percentage of warrior, but the fact that I was aware, the fact that that thing happened in my life, and then I found this course, and I'm now guiding other people through this process. It helps. It helps me quite a lot. In fact, even when I meet clients, it helps me personally because learning about other people's stories,
Hmm.
it helps me to see that there are lots of life perspectives which I didn't know about as well. So, whoever takes this path of money coaching will transform his life, not just financially
Right.
and in public speaking, whatever, but also in learning about other people, how they think, and it can also affect her life quite positively as well.
Absolutely. And in our relationships, I mean, that's one of the great benefits I find is how many of my clients and coaches, by the way, have told me over the years that it changed their relationships with their clients. And even more importantly, it changed their relationship with their own partner and their children,
Yeah.
because they became a different person. And some of the ways they were being previously, which were subconsciously driven, just old patterns
Mhm.
and archetypes that were just running the show, also made a huge difference in their lives personally. So it sounds like that happened at all levels for you too.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad it did as well. I'm glad it did.
Yeah. So is there something that you would like to share, any piece of wisdom about money coaching in general, that to anyone who's listening rather, in terms of why you think money coaching matters and what they might benefit, how they might
Yeah.
benefit.
So the most important thing is that you see there is still that misconception. So when we say money coaching, many people think it's financial coaching, just money management, just saving and investing and this
Hmm.
stuff. And I am still uh, trying my best to show them, listen, it's not just about that, but it's also about the psychological side of money. And I believe that's still quite missing because it's because of the lack of literacy around it as well. And I don't think institutions, governments are doing enough to promote that idea. And
Yeah,
so, to whoever out there wishes to take this path because he's been to your course or he is, considering it, I'd say it is essential to know about the psychological side of money. Because if you go out there and you practice financial coaching without some knowledge about the psychological side of money, you'd only be giving um, 50% of the potential that you can give to that client.
that's right.
And the reason is simply because, okay, you can structure your client better in his finances, in his investment savings, whatever, but you cannot go with the same approach with an
Right.
anxious person compared with a more confident person. This is also what many banks miss as well. Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is
Uh,
prevalent throughout the financial services
yeah, yeah.
industry
I
worldwide
mean,
is that,
there is this gap which somehow us money coaches has to exploit to uh, not just to our advantage, but also to spread this knowledge. Because if we don't, and this is our job, we have to do this. Because if we don't, no one will. The
that's
governments
right.
won't do it because it's not the the sexiest thing to do, so to speak. Okay, because it won't get them votes. um, uh, Institutions won't do this because whenever they do their polls or whatever, um, they see, okay, we have to focus on money management, saving, and investing. And I don't blame people for not mentioning the psychological side of money because there is no knowledge about it. There is no literacy, about it.
Yeah.
So financial
It's
literacy should.
changing, but it still needs to grow about 90% more than what it is today.
It does, and it is to us to do it. I mean, because if we don't take certain steps, no one will. No one will. I mean, I think eventually, as time passes, even the way the world is developing right now with the rise of AI and technology, and people are, I think, appreciating more their well-being.
Hmm.
But there's still not enough knowledge about financial well-being. When we think
Right.
about well-being, we think about nutrition, sports, the psychological side, but not
Right.
connected to the finance side. And I think that's where the opportunity lies for us money coaches. And if we take that opportunity, it will not just be good for us, but it will be good for the world in general. Because
Hmm.
with this guidance that we can give, we can create a change in people's lives, which no one else can. I mean, that's the reality.
Well, I just thank you for saying that because, I've been doing this for 25 years and I've spoken literally to thousands and thousands of people, from many different countries. And especially in the financial services industry, it's fallen largely on deaf ears. But those companies and those individuals within the industry itself, financial services at large, whether they're, big wealth management firms or accounting firms or whatever, those who get it and decide to take it on have 100% said it not only improved their relationship with their clients and
Yeah.
created a whole new value add, but it also added to their bottom line. And more importantly, they have gotten deeper, more, I would say, consolidated relationships with their clients because now
Yeah.
their clients understand that they understand who they are and they know that their investment advisor or planner actually knows who they are and what they
Yeah.
need rather than have that be based upon strictly the practical financial dynamics because decisions are not made in a vacuum, right? They're
Yeah.
made
Exactly.
by human beings who are largely impacted by their own background, emotions,
Mhm.
behaviors, patterns, and as you say, the psychology of money, although no, that's what it is, we're not therapy, so I don't tend to overuse that term mostly because it, that's why we call ourselves coaches, right?
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I would like to have you, if you wouldn't mind, just share how people can connect with you so that, your website, et cetera.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure. So my website, which I keep quite updated, is money. The on LinkedIn. Or, I mean, those are the two spaces where I am most active. I have an Instagram page as well, but I'm less active than on
yeah,
LinkedIn, of course, because you have to choose well a
that's
social
right.
medium at the end of the uh, also known as Twitter. Obviously, the audience there is a bit strange, and I go on Twitter mostly um, when I want to find some news related to cryptocurrency and
Right,
this stuff.
right.
So I'd say the top portals would be my own website, moneycoachinghub.com, and my LinkedIn profile.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Luca, it's been such a pleasure to connect with you again, to hear all
Thank
about what
you.
you've been doing. For any coaches who might be listening to this, I just want you to take note. I tell you over and over again, certified money coaches, to really work the media and the press. What our message is so unique and different, and the value we bring is quite important. So get out there and talk to your local media. Do what Luca's done because he's done a fabulous job, and I wish more of you would do that because it's actually really helpful to you more than anyone, but it'll also spread the work about our work in the world, and we need that because people need what we do, right? So thank you, Luca, for everything you're doing.
Thank you,
Please stay
Deborah.
in
Thank
touch
you.
and keep me posted. I'm really excited about your new project. I'd like to
Yeah,
learn more
thank
about it.
you.
So
Yeah, thanks a lot for the invite, and thank you for the listeners as well.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.